Hi Big Tractor Power fans, this video comes to you from a western Kentucky field where a John Deere 8345R tractor and 1775 NT planter are seeding a new corn crop. This video is going to take a look at how John Deere's Green Star system automates the corn planting process using GPS to guide the tractor on perfect 40-foot passes back and forth across the field and using the GPS to finish off the headlands. The tractor operator never has to steer the machine while it's going back and forth across the field or planting the boundaries. I'm going to spend some time up in the cab visiting with the operator to talk about the technology that's involved in running this machinery. We'll take a look at all the digital displays in the tractor and the GPS beacon that is mounted on the corn planter. Before computerized tractors like this 8345R equipped with auto guidance and GPS, utilizing 17 satellites in outer space to guide the tractor across the field planting corn, corn planters were equipped with marker arms that would draw a line in the ground for the tractor to follow back across the field. From the 1950s all the way through the early 2000s, this was a standard way of planting corn. The corn planter is equipped with a right and left marker arm. The marker arm would drop down and draw a line through the field. When the tractor reaches the headland or boundary of the field, it would lift the planter and marker arm up, turn around, and then the tractor operator would line up with that line through the field and follow it back. The other marker arm then would drop down and draw a new line for the tractor to follow on the return pass. This allowed for straight rows and repetitive rows all the way across the field from one side to the other. This mechanical process of marking out the corn rows works very well and is still used by many farmers today. With the advancement of global positioning and auto guidance, the marker arms have become less and less used on many modern planters. They are still added at the factory on most new planters. Here we can see a 24-row John Deere 1775 NT corn planter pulled by a John Deere 9420R four-wheel drive tractor. You can see the tractor is equipped with a GPS beacon. The yellow beacon right on top of the cab is communicating with satellites in outer space. But for planting the boundaries of the field or the headlands, the marker arm is still used on the planter to put two passes all the way around the field, and the marker arm helps the next pass follow the original pass on these loops around the boundary of the field. Here we can see a second John Deere 9420R tractor following the first one with the John Deere 1775 NT planter. This tractor is pulling a Kinsey 3700 24-row planter, and you can see how the tractor is following the marker arm line all the way around the boundary of the field. The field is an irregular shape and they're following the trees, which kind of weave in and out, and now the second pass can follow those exact curves set by the first tractor and that marker arm. Once the 120-foot perimeter is put around this field by the two corn planters, the marker arms are no longer used and the tractors simply rely on GPS to work their way back and forth across the field planting the corn. What you will see and learn about in the rest of this video is a brand new John Deere 1775 NT corn planter without marker arms. This planter came from the factory in Moline, Illinois, completely set up to use GPS and auto guidance to plant the corn. It actually lays out a digital line in the field that the operator follows on a monitor, and the tractor just drives itself back and forth, making those perfect 40-foot passes. I think that you'll find all of this technology to be very interesting as I ride along inside the tractor visiting with the operator. And before we climb up into the 8345R, I wanted to share some of the specifications on the equipment that you'll be watching in the video. The 8345R tractor was introduced by John Deere for model year 2014 and remains a current production tractor for model year 2020. It's powered by a John Deere 9-liter, 6-cylinder, 548 cubic inch engine rated at 345 engine horsepower and 291 PTO horsepower. It's equipped with an IVT transmission. It's fitted with a 170-gallon diesel fuel tank, a 6.8-gallon DEF or diesel exhaust fluid tank for clean engine solutions, and the tractor weighs in from the Waterloo, Iowa tractor factory where it's produced at 32,691 pounds. The John Deere 1775 NT corn planter featured in this video is a 16-row, 30-inch model. There's also a 12-row and 24-row version available as well. The planter can hold 100 bushels of corn seed, 600 gallons of starter fertilizer. The wings of the planter have a 20-degree up and 30-degree down flexibility. The planter covers 40 feet of ground running across the field and folds up to a narrow 12 feet for road transport. This type of machinery represents a significant investment for a farming operation. It's also one of the most important investments that they can make because planting the corn produces a great amount of income for the family farm. Having a successful harvest on the farm all starts with a successful corn planting season, and the investment made in this machinery is important. The list price, according to JohnDeere.com, for an 8345R tractor is $399,365. The list price for a base 1775 NT 16-row corn planter is $139,410. Now that you have some background on corn planting history and the specifications of this farm equipment, let's climb up in the cab of the John Deere 8345R tractor and see this corn planting technology at work. We're up in the cab of the John Deere 8345R tractor, and it's pulling the 16-row John Deere 1775 NT planter, and this is a fully automated tractor and planter when it comes to putting corn in the ground. Here we can see there's a GPS beacon on the planter itself to help with the guidance and keeping it in line with the tractor. There are no marker arms on the planter. It is all guided automatically by the tractor. You can see there's a lot of technology running the tractor here. We can see it's painting a map as well as having an iPad up here to track the progress of the tractor as it paints across the field. That's the population of the corn seeds going in the ground. We're running at about 7.7 miles per hour, which is pretty good for a planter and tractor.
We're mapping, of course, we're mapping our varieties, we're mapping our population, and I'm mapping downforce. I have downforce on every row of the planter. Used to be downforce was across the whole planter at once, but now I can do each individual row. If we go across a hard spot in the field, like we're coming up a hill now, and this red and orange, it's going to apply more pressure per row. It's not going to be across the whole planter, it's each individual row. It's all hydraulics now. We're planting in prescription, so as we go across the field, it will change populations. 1 minute it might be planting 28,000, and then the next minute it might be planting 36,000.
So that's the colors there on the left-hand side of the screen?
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what we're trying to get to, and this is what we're actually doing. And then once again, it's mapping each individual row at a time. Right now we're planting 28,100, and our target is 28,000. So we're dead on what we're supposed to be planting.
That's really impressive, and it's able to shut off row units as you're crossing wherever you've planted something.
Every single row will shut off whenever I get to an end row. We plant end rows last, that way we're not running over seed, and there's an actual boundary around the field on our maps, and it shuts off at the 80-foot mark. So it shuts off at 80 foot on every row when we come to a end row or a point row or something, and then we will plant our end rows last. That way we don't have to run over our seed as we're turning.
And I noticed I talked about having you have the GPS beacon here and the green star on the tractor for guidance, but you also have it on the planter.
That's right. The planter is going to run in these strips that we've made. We strip till, and so it runs directly on that strip. It needs to stay, it strips like maybe 10 or 12 inches, so it needs to stay on that strip. So the planter actually has we have a steerable hitch, and so it's moving back and forth as we go across the field. It's steering the planter is what it's doing. The tractor's got a globe, and it's driving the tractor, but the beacon, the GPS receiver, is actually steering the planter as we go across the field.
And as we're running across here, we can see the tractor is fully automated. You don't have to steer it. It's following these strip rows perfectly. So all that you need to do is just put your hand on the wheel to turn it around for the next pass.
That's right. And there's some more stuff that you can upgrade that I'd have to pick it up, but it would actually turn the tractor around as we go.
So this beeping sound that we hear is alerting you that we've come to the headland.
That's right, as each row shuts off. And that was the last row right there. If you watch the hitch, whenever I hit the button, you'll actually see it move, lining the planter up with the strips. Running at 7.5, 8 miles an hour, we're gaining 300 acres a day is an easy day. I planted 250 acres after 3 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, and it allows us to get over the field a whole lot quicker and get a whole lot more done in a day.
Well, it's especially important today. We can see out on the horizon here, there's some rain coming in, and every seed that gets in the ground is a little bit more yield.
That's right. We started at 7:30 this morning, and we planted over 100 acres already today, and we've moved. We're on the third farm for the day. So
that's great. Yeah, it's just lunchtime now, a little after 12:30, and
we'll probably plant another 60 acres and stop it for the day with the rain coming. 1 to 2 inches of rain. It'll scare us just a little bit with the ground and crust the ground over and not let the seed come up. So we'll try to give it a good 4 or 5 hours before this rain hits it to get warmed up and do its thing.
Well, it's great to have this automation to try to beat that weather and be where you need to be when it does come in.
It is.
So we're going to plant the headlands now, and we'll look at the management tools used to do that. With again, we don't have the marker arms. Usually you would see a marker arm come down to lay out that perimeter. So how does this work?
We map the field, and Deere's come out with a tool now that if you tell it how big your implement is, it'll put a line, a guidance line, it'll put a guidance line right where it needs to be.
So that's that yellow dot there.
The yellow dot's the 80 foot where the implement cuts off, but we'll get on this blue line here. We'll get on this blue line here, and once it turns white, the tractor will take over.
Oh, I see it. So you have a virtual marker arm line.
The pink line is the boundary line.
Okay.
And the little yellow dotted line is the 80 foot from the boundary where the planter will cut off each time.
So we can see here, there's the grass on the boundary of the field, and we're following the headland. We'll turn the tractor around and the planter. So now the tractor's back in auto steer. You can see the white line. And again, that yellow dotted line is the boundary of where it's already been planted. And we can see here where we're going right in between that first headland pass, and we're on the second, and in between the rows of corn. So pretty cool. And that's how this planter works without having the marker arms to lay it out for you. I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time out in this western Kentucky field, seeing how the John Deere Green Star system helps automate the corn planting process for this John Deere 8345R tractor and 1775 NT corn planter. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, I hope you'll consider subscribing to Big Tractor Power YouTube, where there's over 1,000 videos of farm machines in action. If you've enjoyed the content of the video, I hope that you'll consider giving it a thumbs up, as it helps alert more tractor fans about the video being on YouTube. Make sure to click on the notifications bell as well, so you'll know when the next Big Tractor Power video is released. New videos are coming out almost every day from the channel. If you have any questions or thoughts about this video, please leave them in the comment section below, as I try to respond to every post that is made. If you would like to get a preview of what is coming up next on Big Tractor Power YouTube, make sure to check out Big Tractor Power Instagram, where I share pictures and short video clips of what is currently being filmed in the field. As always, thank you for watching.